So Sanatan Dharma, what is it? It is a very simple, synchronized way to live a positive, calm, enjoyable lifestyle in harmony with first self, in harmony with our environment, nature, the other people around us, and to enjoy our life. But how to enjoy? This is the question. So why we spoke about passwords to operate in this training program for the soul called life is it's a little bit, life is like a military boarding school. Ever heard of that? If you're a naughty child in mother's house where we all came from, then your parents might send you to a military boarding school to shape you and to give you some discipline. But they sign a very important document, which is corporal punishment. That means the school can, physically beat the child if need be. So they learn a lot of things there, as we do in life. Life is only for learning. Life was not to go through the discomfort. Life is to learn to do what we should, not what we want. And
that's the key.
Yeah. So Sanatan Dharma is giving us a guide in every situation, every aspect of life to righteous, right action, positive action, as I love to call it, in that circumstance. And Sanatan Dharma has the answer when you achieve some things in life, now what? Because usually we imagine that something will bring us happiness. We say, maybe when I get the next salary, I'll buy some new, furniture for the veranda, a new speaker for the house. So we are actually making an assumption that when we get that, we'll be happy. Whereas Sanatan Dharma says that life is in the moment of now. And you are a generator of energy. And you are a transmitting antenna, transmitting and receiving energy of thought first. Then your words and your deeds and your seva, they also transmit energy, attract similar energy, and it returns to us manifold. So if life in this modern age is about our feeling and experience, then how best to mold that feeling and experience? Sanatana Dharma has the answer, because we are attracting to us everything we experience. I often like to call it karma is the balance of the energy of action, past and present, make our current experience today. But before the karma, we are generating energy. It's transmitting, we're absorbing it through our thoughts, words, and deeds. If we're not a little spiritually strong, that means positivity, then we'll receive energy from so many people, and likewise. So we cannot just say to your viewers today, be positive. But Sanatana Dharma is positive living. So when we start to monitor and be aware of our thoughts first, because it's the foundation of karma, is the foundation of action. I even love to say that thought is a prayer. Thought is an action. Because first there's a thought, then there's an action, or maybe an inaction. So say I see an accident, and I think about doing something to help that person, but I don't. So the inaction actually is an action. I thought I had a negative inaction, and that comes together to make karma. One thought, one action or inaction comes together, it becomes the karma.
I think that's what exactly Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, that doing something or not doing something, both are, when you're on the earth, you will do something. And if you're not doing anything, that is also adding to your karma, because you're doing nothing. That nothing is also a karma. So when you're here, do something. Always keep yourself busy with productive things that you do. So yeah, please continue.
Really awesome. You caught something beautiful. A lot of the sevaks that I'm really blessed that move with me, to the meetings, the satsang, the lecture, they sometimes turn to me and they say, hey, were you just saying a sloka? I said, I was, but I was not going to tell the people that. I was just using it in some modern language. But it is the same thing. So you caught that thing. What the Gita says is also what we're saying, is that, be aware of your thoughts. They are attracting things to you, positive and negative. If you have a negative thought, immediately change it to something positive. If you have a negative thing you say, change it. If you have a negative action, do something to counter it. In this way, we dilute the potential positive or negative karma. We cannot transform overnight, but we can start to move our souls on the same path that everyone. So we love to break it down so simply for the global youth that positivity means attracting what you want to come in life. That is to synchronize your life. So if I have positive thinking, positive speaking, positive action, we keep repeating it, and selfless service to others. Now, all of a sudden, my karma waits outside because I'm not supposed to be doing selfless service to humanity. Always looking for someone to help who multiply your happiness over and over, and it cuts the karma. We said balance of the energy of action, past and present, makes our current experience today. So they always say law of attraction, manifestation, but life was actually not about getting what we want, but we can attract a little better than karma in our life. So I often tell in counseling, I have told rapist, thief, murderer, or just the normal human needing a little guidance in life. Yeah, you could just jump in the Ganga River and go. Practice positivity in your thoughts, words, and deeds, and always look to serve. You will reduce your own karmic debt, which I'd like to call EMI, estimated monthly installment, and you will also cut that for the person that you're serving. And you both go to the destination faster. And this is the best we can do in that limited time in life, which is so valuable, which Sanatan Dharma also, our beloved Gita, speaks about.
I think one more thing that you said, that it is about being in the moment, being happy, and enjoying the moment, right? So that's the very reason a lot of times, like not now, past 10 years, we have seen a significant change in the attitudes of people within Bharat and of course outside also. But before that, I remember the times when we were made fun of, you guys have so many festivals. Now I understand, because we celebrated each day. We tried to celebrate each day, because being here in this physical form, in this experiencing it here, is the most beautiful thing if you take it in the right direction.
Beautifully said.
So, that's the reason we have so many festivals. We enjoy everything, be it Shiva or Krishna or Ram, we enjoy everybody. Coming to that, it reminds me, we just spoke before this podcast started. We started shooting something about Ram Mandir. You have been talking to people. So I want to know what about Ram Mandir you have been talking. Then I'll come to spirituality. Okay.
Sure. Beautiful thing that you said is that, those outside of Bharat, they often look from the outside in, and they say that, a lot of festivals are there, which has everything to do with Ram Mandir as well. Even the world is asked, why Ram Mandir? We actually are not celebrating a festival per se. We're practicing Vedic science, which is the spiritual foundation for all of humanity. Vedic science means the divine descendants of knowledge from the beginning of this program named as life till today is descending for all people of all faiths and religions, irrespective of where you were born. So if you are born in Bharat, you've done something very well in the past life. If you get to visit or even work here, or even associate with that cultural root of all humanity, then something very, very charging and recharging for the soul. So when we look at Vedic science in our festivals, we have to say that, we are understanding the energy of the universe, this training school of life that we are in, and grounding into the moment of now, being present in the now, which Vedic science teaches us. Now is the Atma, is the soul. It is the only jurisdiction of the soul right now. And when we are grounded here, we don't worry about past or future, only now. Our mind kind of stands still when we're so grounded in the moment. You talked about, actually China trying to get people that had, won over the death. What is the real winning over death? Being present here in the moment of now with self, practicing positivity and service, but also understanding what human life really is, which we're all searching for. If today, you and I, or our viewers, if we can cut the fear of death, 50% of life's worries, they fly away completely. So when we go, say, for a Ganeshka Puja, any other of our celebrations, as they call them, we are actually looking at the science of that. Science. So very, very interesting. You talked about Ram Mandir. When we understand that a lot of our deities are enlightened spirits who took human form, they had the power of surrender and the power of seva to such an extent they became zero. They surrendered their own wants, wishes, dreams, desires, got connected to the divinity, and channeled that divinity forward. So when we look at, say, a place that is very auspicious, why is it auspicious? Because of the vibration in that area. Usually an enlightened spirit in human form used to sit or be born in a north-south high magnetic polarity area, whether it be a Gram Devata, a Kul Devata, or one of our Ishta Devatas. So they would sit in that area. Now, when they would leave the physical body, sometimes there was samadhi there, sometimes not. But what they would do to build up that energy in that area is already we have north-south polarity, magnetic polarity. Now we have all the positive energy that has been generated and has come down from their selfless service, because there's an energy signature to all our thoughts, words, and deeds. It comes into this chair. It goes into the ground. Take Ram Mandir, for example. So our Lord Ram, who is avatar because of the faith and belief of the people. Avatar is that enlightened being in human form who went to PhD, totally connected to the divine, channeling that energy. And then because of their service, faith and belief of the people combined, and they were seen as an avatar that could not take the next birth, because their energy, their Chaitanya was always there to serve the people. Ram is only that for us. Only that. So this is Ram's birthplace. But on the ground of Ram Mandir, so much selfless service to humanity by Ram throughout his journey, but also others that were serving, his example, was in that place. So the ground has become very positive. The ground, which is a deity, it is, Mother Earth is a deity. We have to respect it as that. So it carries that negative or positive vibration, that energy signature. Now, even if you have a mandir go down and a shopping mall is built in that, the ground will carry that positive energy. But certain things in our Vedic science we had done on that spot. We had promised to keep that energy present. How do we do it? That is our scientific arti. Scientific arti is keeping the divine energy present, which becomes very unique to that spot. We promise to keep the Agni burning on the site of Ayodhya before any foreign invasions. I'm getting a lot of energy right now. Then we promised that we would do our scientific Vedic science arti to keep the energy that had been originally brought down behind the murti. The outside of Pada, they see murti, they see idol, and they actually don't understand that has nothing to do with that piece of rock, for example, or piece of stone or piece of metal. It is actually that we have done a Vedic science to call down divine energy. It is combined with the faith and belief of the people and become a unique entity to that place. And all of a sudden, if we have been doing for centuries, we were doing the scientific arti to maintain that, and then a foreign invasion came. Still the energy is there, but once you start doing negativity on that ground, they had hung Hindus there. They had cut the necks of goats there. So much negativity and violence had been done on that ground. So the actual ground, which has nothing to do with any religion, becomes angry. It doesn't matter that there had been a masjid on that spot. Doesn't matter. But actually is the negative action and negative energy which made the ground angry and actually went against our promise to the enlightened ones who guided us, Lord Ram, to maintain the positive energy of that place. So coming back to Ram Mandir after so many years, and it is not about building a mandir, the whole world should understand. It is about actually changing the energy signature in that place. To make you understand, I'll just tell you a very quick story. My Guruji, he was traveling with the president of Bharat all around the world, and they were actually collecting soil for a spiritual garden in Rashtrapati Bhavan. So he was in Russia at the site of World War II, St. Petersburg. There's a big karmic event there, because only that kind of violence is a karmic churning. You cannot harm another person unless it is written for them. this is war. This is karma being worked out. He put his hand in the soil, and he, as you said, is quite realized. He has the power of surrender. He's connected with the divine. He's channeling the energy for the benefit and welfare of others. He put his hand in the soil. He passed out. There's so much suffering. They said 1 million people, 1 million people, over 8 lakh people had expired on that ground. So the ground had carried the energy of those karmic events, that pain and suffering, because the representation of how we leave this physical birth is in that Shava, death. So if you go out in a violent way, it has something to say about the karma. And he was grabbing that in his hand. This is the energy signature. So if you understand that, then go to the site of Ram Mandir. Scientifically, for the people of all humanity, we are removing the negativity, calling down the divine energy again in magnified form. It was always there, but it had been getting diluted because at some point, the people of Sanatan Dharma, they're not really Hindu, they're Sanatani. They were there trying to keep that alive, but they were moved from that site. So we've come back and we started to do those scientific procedures again to call down the enlightened one's energy on that site, to keep the agni burning again, and to change that signature in the area. And then people of all faiths are welcome. You can be Muslim, Hindu, Christian, anything. You'll feel the energy there because it's science. It's not religion. And I just end on this. One time with the GSB, God Saraswat Brahman. Basically, they're Saraswat Brahmins. They have communities all across the country, originally from Kashmir. Most of them spent time in Goa after the Mughals came. Then, as my Guruji's lineage, they moved out all across Bharat. Some in Kerala, some in Karnataka. They're in Delhi. There's a mandir there. So at the time of Lord Ganesha's festival, as they call it, Ganeshka Puja, I had Christian, Sikh, Hindu, Muslim people come. And I knew that Punjabi, and I knew they were practicing real Vedic science to call the energy in that place so it could be felt and experienced by the people. We said life is only about feeling and experience. You can say all you want, but you have to feel it. It's a solo journey for us. In the womb to going up, solo journey. So I asked all the people to come outside the mandir. And I said, when you go inside, you just close your eyes with me. Just remember how you feel now. Then I took everyone to the murti and I said, what do you feel? They all felt some pulsating vibration energy, which if you really focus on this program of life, it's the Om, that vibration for all of humanity, connecting you to what I call the system server of the universe, which doesn't have a name. All the Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus, any enlightened one that used to be in human form is an ambassador of that system server, like Android, iPhone. So they all felt that. The same thing, and people of every faith can be felt at the site of Ram Mandir because we, as a humanity, have changed the energy signature of that place. Faith and belief of the people and that spiritual energy of the enlightened one, Lord Ram, combined, and he is connected to that system server, the one Bhagwan, and now, no matter what faith, you can feel it there.
I haven't heard a more interesting theory, philosophy about the re-establishment of Ram Mandir than what you have explained. It is beautiful. It is amazing. One more thing, what you just said, that places have energy of the people who have sat and done some kind of sadhanas there or months and all. I remember I had gone to Banaras, Kashi, and there was this Brahmin scholar I was talking to, and I asked him that, coming to Kashi are places that are considered as pilgrims for the Hindus, Tirthan to be precise. So you feel different kind of energy, and does it give more power if you do your sadhana at such places? You know what he told me? He said that, why do you want to come to Kashi? Wherever you are living, make that place Kashi. You do your sadhana in that place and make it Kashi. Why do you think that it happens only here? Wherever you live, make it like that. So I think, the way you said Sanatan is just so beautiful, and you can do so much with it if you just open-heartedly understand it. That's what I feel.